The recent school stabbing in General Trias, Cavite, this shooting in Tacloban, the congressional discussions on social media regulations for minors, and the upcoming technical working group on children's gadget use. I want to react because our public conversation is once again moving toward an easy answer. Parents should monitor their children better. Let me be clear. Parents do carry a serious responsibility. We need to understand our children's digital lives. We need to set boundaries, teach judgment, remain emotionally available, and act when something feels wrong. But telling parents to monitor harder is not a child safety policy. It is especially inadequate when we are talking about grooming, exploitation, coercion, harmful online communities, and youth violence. These harms are not always obvious. They are meant to evade adult supervision. Grooming often begins with attention, friendship, validation, shared interest, and secrecy. Trust is built before it is abused. Shame and fear are used to keep the child silent. By the time the parent notices withdrawal, anger, anxiety, or unusual secrecy, the harmful relationship may already be deep. And that means monitoring is often a late stage control. It detects signs after harm has begun. And that is not the same as prevention. We should also resist another easy answer, blaming one violent game. Planning a game may look decisive, but one game cannot explain a tragedy involving access to firearms, bullying, mental distress, school safety, online influence, and failures across several institutions. Digital environments still matter. Games and social media are now places where our children form identities, seek belonging, meet strangers, and enter communities that may normalize cruelty, exploitation, hate, or violence. But examining those risks is very different from blaming one game or one parent. And this is where I strongly disagree with the casual use of risk management language for families. Risk management is useful for enterprises or institutions because it helps companies identify threats, assign control owners, build safeguards, and measure whether those safeguards work. But we're talking about children here, and they are not corporate assets. They are persons with emotions, relationships, developing judgment, and most importantly, their own free will. They may listen to us, parents. They may also hide things, resist, make mistakes, and trust the wrong person. So you cannot manage a child like an operational exposure. Parenting is not surveillance. It is formation, character building, trust, boundaries, discernment, keeping communication open, even after a child has done something incredibly wrong. We also need to acknowledge the mental load parents already carry, especially mothers like myself. Think of a working class mother managing her job, commute, meals, bills, school requirements, illnesses, household needs, and emotional care. Now, we expect her to be a full-time digital investigator, no, expecting her to understand every platform, decode every private interaction, identify algorithmic influence, monitor every account, and detect grooming before any warning sign appears. The expectation is unrealistic, deeply unfair, and, shall I say, tone deaf. It is also unfair, no? Because parents just see fragments, while platforms see the patterns. Platforms control who can contact a child, who gets recommended, and which safety settings apply, what behavior is flagged, and how quickly reports can be acted upon. And that is where rigorous risk management belongs. Require platforms to identify foreseeable harms, require child-safe defaults, restrict predatory contact, audit recommendation systems, establish clear accountability, and penalize repeated failure. Parents must remain involved, I agree, and schools must respond, government must govern, firearms must be secured, and mental health support must be accessible. But the responsibility must follow power, information, and control. So our policymakers, our legislators must be careful not to legislate parent or parental surveillance, while leaving the platform power largely intact when they are the ones benefiting from all of this. Because when institutions with data, money, technical capability tell already overburdened families, especially parents, to monitor harder, that's not really sharing responsibility and accountability. They are outsourcing institutional failure to the home. And child protection cannot become an exercise in legislating parenting while the systems that benefit, that profit from children remain under-regulated.